I actually need to like drink my water for a second. I also want to drink. That was good. Welcome. If you're here for Duggar history, you're in the right place. I also wanted a drink. I think I already said that sentence out loud, but I'm just gonna grab that. Don't go anywhere. Do not move. Don't move. What is this? Truly lemonade. That'll work. Don't move. Yes, I have a mini fridge in here. Hi. A Walmart parking lot child. Hi. I'm glad we're ready for class. I'm glad we're not here dicking around. I'm glad about that. Kirsten Hartman, thank you for subscribing with Prime. My phone's about to die. That's good. Okay. How to breath from sprinting across campus. You're echoing? Here. Is that better? Is that a better echo? It's not happening? Is the audio weird? I'm sorry if the audio is weird. Let me see what's going on here. Individual audio. Resolve audio error. Can I update it right now? It wants me to update something on my computer. Let's see if that's allowed. If it... Everyone's saying echo. Is that better? I think it's happier now. You sound like an announcer at a football. No, we actually need to fix it. Is that better? I saw a yes. Okay, good. Still echoing. Fuck, I'm seeing better and I'm seeing some people saying it's gone now. I'm going to assume that it's better. Still bad. Football announcer. What? It's kind of better. Still echo-ish. It's not horrible, but not fixed. It's going in and out. Slight echo. It's better. Not good. Well, that's unfortunate. It's better because the echo is gentler. Let's try something else. What about that? Is that better? You got water in your mic or something. I don't think so. Better? Way better? Okay. I figured out it was picking up. It was picking up my... Okay. Love this. Supreme Mommy. Women in tech. It was picking up my computer microphone and this microphone. So it had two mic feeds at the same time. Women in STEM. Okay. I'm so excited for this. Holy fuck, there's 445 people here. Thanks for bearing with us through technical difficulties. So we're here to talk about Duggar history. I'm mainly focusing on the Duggar past. This is a history channel, not a current events channel. Here from TikTok, I'm pumped. Oh my God. Raise your hand if you're here from TikTok. Raise a hand. And by that, I mean put an emoji or something. Put an aggressive emoji. I love the little red demon emoji that I have on here right now. Nicole Ann 986, thank you for subscribing at Prime. Love that we're here from TikTok. So if you're new here, we like to say that there is a TikTok to YouTube pipeline. So I'm curious, who here completed the pipeline? Who here has gone through that entire pipeline? Oh my God. You guys are putting me onto so many new emojis. The helicopter emoji. Oh my God. The people that are subscribers using my custom emotes. Holy fucking shit. I forgot to tell you we're coming out with merch. Is this the family that's inbred again? No, not them. Well, not that I'm aware of. I forgot to tell you guys, I'm coming out with merch. It'll be out when it's out. I don't know what that'll be. But I'm really, really excited about it. It's not done yet. I'm still working on it. I've completed the pipeline. My claim to fame is being here since the first stream. Lonely Orphan Girl, that is a claim to fame right there. I love that. Popping my cherry. I'm honored to pop your cherry. Josie's birth was a moment in my childhood. Taco Bella Chog subscribed for 3 months. Oh my God. I used to be able to recite all the Duggar's name in order. Oh my God. Oh my God, I did just notice her pigtails right here. They look super lopsided. Yay, merch. Literally saw your video at 7:29 and said, oh yes, I was really on time today. It's glitching for anyone else. We cannot catch a fucking break. I think I know what it was, and it was a couple seconds ago, but I think it's fixed now. We'll see. You guys are a couple seconds behind me. I remember praying for Josie. Not praying Josie. Stop. Not praying for Josie. Glitching how? Like, what exactly does that mean? Like, we're saying glitch. I feel like I'm at work right now. People will be like, it's glitching. And I'm like, okay, but what are you experiencing? Oh, that's annoying. I'm really sorry. Amy, her 28, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Oh my God. I was homeschooled in the Duggars that I was allowed to watch. Well, really, they played themselves with that one. Skipping. Everyone keeps saying that. I don't fix it. It seems like it's happening more and more people to the chat. I think shitty self-service. Fuck. Here, let me try and get everything off of the Wi-Fi except for this. Bestie, the stream is popping. The stream is popping, but the technology is not popping is what the problem is. That's really what's going on here. I'm trying to figure out how to handle this. I'll subscribe to Patreon to get you an Ethernet cable. Yeah, that's really what needs to be happening. Jim Bob, you simply cannot trust a man with two names. Stream popping, but tech is stopping. No, it is. I really have no idea how to fix this because, like, the Wi-Fi is working. I can't just restart it right now. The true live Zoom class experience. Now it's better. Just got so much better. See? I was telling you all. I thought it was in the past, and now it was over. Twitch just doesn't want to give the people what they want, honestly. Okay, great. It's fine now. Time to shell out some merch for better Wi-Fi. So I'll get better Wi-Fi when I move. Me and my boyfriend are moving. And so I'm going to be like, hey, whatever the most expensive Wi-Fi you can find is what we need. Got so much better. Okay, now we can focus. That was honestly really stressful for me, but whatever. We're in business now. Happy Wednesday. Let's get into Duggar family lore. So, first off, I want to say rest in peace to Michelle's inner baddie. Another sister lost to a religious narcissistic man. Michelle grew up like relatively normal. Like she like wore normal clothes. Can you get your company to pay for your Wi-Fi? That's hilarious. I can barely get my company to pay for my health insurance. So no, and I also don't work from home, and I'm not allowed to work from home, so I don't really think that they would go for that. Her watching cars in bikinis. I miss baddie Michelle, inner baddie. Oh my God, I hate to see it. Michelle has knees. Here are the Michelle knees, right here. Here's her pic. So everyone is probably here because they think we're going to talk about Josh's arrest when we're actually here to talk about their quiverful religion and the manipulative patriarchy of this family. So if you were here for anything else, sorry about that. So a lot of my research was taken from the Duggars website. Because one thing I love about the Duggars is they'll tell on themselves with their whole fucking chest. Like, they'll say the most batshit crazy thing and then just look at you like it's normal. I'm so sick of Josh, literally and metaphorically, so I'm here for it. That's what I figured. I was like, there's tons of content out there about him, and, like, not everything's fucking about you. Like, not everything's about you. I'm tired of talking about you. They use internet. They do. We've heard enough about trash, but exactly. Like, let's dig deep into other trauma of this family that is valid. Can't trust a man with a J name, not to trust a single person in this family. Do you think Michelle ever feels left out for not having a J name? I would. Absolutely, I would. I would feel left out. I'd be like, this is bullshit. All these fucking J names, and I'm over here being Michelle. I would change my name to, like, Jeshelle. You know what I mean? That's what I would do if I was her. Love religious trauma. I was so happy when you said he's not a topic. He, like, comes up randomly, but not really, actually. No, he didn't. There's, like, a couple photos that he's in. Other than that, he's really not in here. My name is Jameshelle. The J is silent. The Josh story has been talked about too much when there's simply so much more to unpack. That might be the chat of the night. That might just be the chat of the night. We don't know. Jadakted. Oh my God. Oh, I hate glitches when I pause. Stop doing that. Thanks. I feel like Jeshelle has definitely been done. My grandma is the only one in her family without a J name. Is your grandma okay? She doesn't have a J name because she's not like other girls. Michelle does kind of have pick-me energy, I'm gonna be honest. She really does. Okay, me and Miss Frazzle were talking about this the other day. It's not a quiz. To the person who just asked, will there be a quiz? It's not a quiz. It's not a quiz. Frazzled was saying it's an assessment, and I was like, no, it's not. It's a fun trivia game. It's not an assessment. And she was like, you're a teacher. You knew what the fuck you're doing. And I was like, it's a fun, like, trivia game. Also, I want to turn this light down a little bit. It was just like a little too much on me. Okay, I'm feeling much better about those vibes. That feels a lot less aggressive. Please give me a grade, queen. Plus, a lot of y'all, like, you're into it. Like, I don't know if it's like it's like fulfilling a need for like praise. Also, the thing started having little green lights on it. I don't know when that happened. I don't know if it's like a praise thing where you just like me to be like, good job, sweetie, you did so good. Or I don't know if it's like a kick, you know, like some people like want to do bad on something. Like some people are like, oh yeah, I need a bad grade. I had a teacher that would call it a quest, a quiz test. Extra credit, please. Grad school doesn't have enough academic validation. I need validation because I didn't get it from my parent. I'm your parent now, and get ready to get the shit validated out of you. I just like when you're happy. Oh my god, that's my kink. Okay, so I gained 10 pounds. I don't really know how that happened. And now, like, my boobs are just, like, too much. And it really stresses me out. I probably shouldn't be talking about this right now. But it's a very sexual podcast tonight. Or not podcast. Stream. Okay, so, anyway, back to what I was saying. Most of this information was taken from the Duggar's website. Because, like I said, they will tell on themselves with their whole chest. So I started with the FAQ. Because I was like, I'm sure I have the same questions as other people. Who doesn't have praise kink? Oh my god. I need to stop looking at the chat. So I'm like, oh, I probably have the same questions as other people. My dumbass. Obviously, they're not going to answer the questions that we want to know. The first question is how do I become a Christian? And that's when I was immediately done with this page. That's when I was like, you know what? I don't need to be on the FAQ Duggar page because like anything that y'all want to answer is not what I want to fucking hear. Like I don't want y'all to be like, what's the word? Like vetting your answers. Like I want you to just talk. I want you to spill. So I'm not going to your FAQ because you're not going to answer the shit. The FAQ is not going to be the shit you've been avoiding. You know what I mean? The real dirt I found, the real dirt, like I said, they tell on themselves, is a lot of the information are blog posts that were written before a lot of the scandal stuff came out. They're not as active as they used to be on their site, but a lot of their old blog posts, I'm like, oh, why was this not in the police report? One of the daughters is writing a book about escaping the cult. Which one? Because I'm going to read it. Morgan L. Goodwin, thank you for subscribing. Oh my God, thank you. And FemLizzy45, thank you for subscribing. Imagine snitching yourself on a blog. Exactly. Imagine wanting to become Christian and thinking the way to find out is the Duggar FAQ page. Ginger. Oh, I'm very, very much looking forward to this book. I look too naked right now. I just like need my hair to not be that extensive. So basically we're going to go through the Duggars' history of what they wrote about themselves. And then I'm going to tell you what I learned from my very extensive research about the Duggars. And we're going to do kind of a compare and contrast. Hot tub history teacher. Oh God, no. Absolutely not. So that's the plan. That's the vision. I want my chair to be higher. I don't know why I'm so like unable to like, that's better. Maybe that's what it was. I think when I moved my chair a couple minutes ago, because I was working out earlier, I think that's what it was. That feels so much more normal. I think my chair was too low. Jill and her husband are doing it for Jim Bob. I'm waiting for it. The Duggars, the height of Christianity. The good thing is, with all those kids, one of them is bound to spill the beans. They were not thinking long term. They will not think that long term. And someone was saying Jill's husband became a lawyer just so they could sue her dad. I believe that. I don't know that. But, so, who are the Duggars? Let's take a look at their story according to themselves. And by themselves, I'm assuming Jim Bob wrote this. Like, this has very Jim Bob and Michelle. So this is the energy that it has. It has Michelle wrote it. Jim Bob told her what to say. So when I read this aloud to you, like bedtime story time, that's the lens you need to be looking at it from. And you're going to be like, wow, Mr. Redacted, you're so fucking right. Because that literally is, what denomination are you, Duggar? I didn't know these people and thought Jim Bob was a joke. Okay, so this is written by them, meaning Michelle, Jim Bob's words through Michelle. So, before we came, who the fuck is calling me? Before we came the 19 and counting Duggar family, we were just Jim Bob and Michelle, growing up in Arkansas as the children of loving, hardworking parents. A lot of who we are today springs from who we were back then. Yeah, who you are has to do with where you're from. Groundbreaking. So to tell our family story, we'll start before its beginning. What? Get ready. This is not short. Just FYI. So, December 1983, I, Jim Bob, spent about $350 on a ring, and on Christmas Eve got down on my knee and asked Michelle to marry me. She excitedly said yes. 3 months later, however, a new job for Mr. Ruark, that's Michelle's dad, meant that he, his wife, and Michelle would move to North Carolina as soon as Michelle graduated high school in May. So she is 17. She's a 17-year-old child at this current point in time. He was 19 and she was 17. Is this excitement in the room with us? High school, excuse me. So I could stand to think of Michelle leaving, so I asked her dad if we could get married that summer. The way my dad would have been like, no, is that a joke? Like, are you joking? Why would you think I would let you do that? She's a child, so no. So I used my best salesmanship to remind him that I was working at a grocery store and also had my real estate license. I was buying a little $19,000 house. God, the housing crisis is so bad. I was buying a little $19,000 house, and I loved Michelle with all my heart. I would be so offended if my dad was like, yeah, you can marry her, because he had a $19,000 house and a real estate license. I work in real estate, and a lot of really stupid fucking people have real estate licenses. I'm sorry. If any of you are watching this, I'm sorry. Y'all have dealt with other agents. They're idiots. So, God, he really does have used car salesman energy. The epitome. Salesmanship, let me just buy Michelle off a shelf. $19K maybe would buy you a she shed. No. Why does a decent car now cost what a house cost then? Honestly, for $19,000 for a car, that's like a pretty good deal. My God. Okay. So, they move into their fucking $9,000 house. It was an emotional conversation for the both of us. I was crying and Mr. Ruark had tears in his eyes and listened to me pour my heart out. I cannot imagine my dad doing this. Like, if a man came to my dad like this, my dad would be like, you're actually being so awkward and you need to get away from me. Like, literally 19K, 19 kids, there's patterns everywhere. But, like, my dad would be like, you're being uncomfortable, so we're not going to have this conversation. He had tears in his eyes as he listened to me pour my heart out. I love your daughter. I really believe I can provide for her and take care of her, and I don't want her to move away. I don't want to see her move away to North Carolina. Like, Jim Bob couldn't even handle the adversity of a semi-long distance relationship. Like, she was 17 and she was moving to North Carolina. Like, you had to get married. Married seems dramatic. My dad would tell Jim Bob to stop being a clown. Why didn't he move to North Carolina? See? 4AJW20. The clever username. That you're asking the real fucking questions. Instead, he isolated her from her family. If a man ever tries to isolate you from your family, you need to run the other fucking direction. You need to run, like, literally so far to the hills as you possibly can. They're both teenagers. What was keeping him from going with? We just said he had a $19,000 house and a great job at a grocery store. The way that his grocery store job is also his entire personality. There's one episode where they're talking about their pantry. I'll show you pictures of the pantry later. And he's like, oh, I used to work at a grocery store, so I know how to stock the shelves, and I have my kids use the grocery store system. His fucking groundbreaking insider tip on grocery packing awaying was to put the oldest stuff at the front and the newest stuff back. That's not, you didn't have to work at a grocery store to know that. He doesn't even say that Michelle wants to marry him. Exactly. What's Michelle's take? Michelle's mom was sitting nearby, listening and not saying anything. Finally, Miss Ruick softly said, Garrett, just let the boy marry the girl. Immediately, no. We were married on July 21st, 1984, 3 months after Michelle's high school graduation and 3 days after Jim Bob's 19th birthday. I would turn 18 that September. So she was 17 when she got married. She was 17 and he was 19. I do not think an age gap of 17 and 19 is inappropriate inherently. Like, I think especially if you're in kind of schooling together and stuff, that's not unfathomable. It's like a little raise an eyebrowy because minor, not minor, but it's not the craziest thing I've heard of. However, marriage at 17 and 19 is a lot. That is quite the take. Also, them being 17 and 19 when they got married is in the game later. Just FYI, it is in the trivia game later. So you will need to know that. So if you weren't writing it down, write it down. So this is written by Michelle. Our wedding was sweet and simple. We did most of the preparation and decoration ourselves. We love a DIY. We got married in our church where our pastor officiated our ceremony. At the time, our church was still being built. We were meeting in a big gymnasium for services. We actually got married in the hallway of the building. We had to set up folding chairs to use as pews, and we did the exact same thing when we renewed our vows 25 years later. Oh, so cute. Oh my God. Yes, we will look at a wedding pic. Where was I? I wanted to do as much as I could. I wanted to do as much as I could myself as a way to save money and keep expenses reasonable. Another special touch was wearing Jim Bob's mother's wedding dress as my dress. It's giving mommy issues. I would... I have so many issues with this. Also, my skin is really dry. Of all the traditions to alive, folding chairs. Like, I would never want to wear a mother-in-law's dress. It's like, what in the Freud rest in peace for? You would have loved the Duggar. Oh my God. What's the rush of being married so young aside from sex? I think that is the rush. I think that's the whole thing. Why would you want to marry a girl dressed as your mom? No, literally, why would you want to marry a girl dressed as your mom? Like, this is disturbing. I would have loved the Duggars. I'd get it if it was her mom. Exactly. Like, wearing your mom's dress, oh, that's cute. Wearing your grandma's dress, wearing your aunt's dress, wearing your sister's dress, even wearing your friend's dress. Like, I truly wear anyone's dress. Like, if it's a dress and you want it and you want to wear it and you want to save money, wear the fucking dress. But when it's your mother-in-law, no. No. No, because that's weird. Fraz, who did this? I'm late. Michelle Duggar did this. She wore Jim Bob's mother's wedding dress. Jim Bob should have worn his mom's dress. Not Jim Bob should have worn the dress. Okay, so everything we did for our wedding was so inexpensive but perfect for us. I cannot imagine myself uttering those words. We want to spend our money on our honeymoon. Okay, valid, I guess. So this is my thing. I hate a cheap big wedding. If you're going to have a big wedding, make it fucking good. Like, it cannot be a negative experience. You can it doesn't have to be super fancy. Like, you can have barbecue and have a big-ass wedding. But still, like, you need to have good food, comfortable seating, like, whatever. If you don't want to spend money on a wedding, just elope. Just elope. Like, you don't have to spend money on a wedding. I get a cheap wedding, but a church hallway wedding? Exactly. It's like, you could have just eloped. Or done like a really small family wedding at the like when people try to throw a big fancy wedding on a small budget, it's very obvious. And I'm like, just have a good time with what you have. Like, stop trying to be something you're not. My wedding will have food trucks. Hope she's okay with me talking about this. But for my sister's wedding, she got married with like just immediate family there. And then she had like a big party at my parents' house where she got a food truck. And it was like a very casual party. It was good vibes. But anyway, so Michelle said, I made my own bouquet using fake flowers so I could keep them to decorate my home with later. Just, this is sad. Like, I don't want to feel empathy for her because she has not protected her children when they needed her. But I really do feel like, can someone explain what's wrong with getting married in a church hall? Can someone explain getting married in a church hall, what's wrong with it? So to me, it's just kind of odd because it seems like they really wanted a big wedding, but they're doing it in a church hall. But it seems like the most important thing to them was their honeymoon. And I guess this was like before eloping culture. I'm really talking shit on like the 4 weddings people more so than them. I'd rather pick some flowers. Cheap wedding equals adversity, eloping equals scandalous. Yeah, pretty much. Were they led by shotgun down the church hallway? No, I don't think so. And we're going to talk about the tea with them. Can we talk about the multiple weddings in one day? Hall in some places means like a room. They literally mean a hallway. Yes. So people that are like, oh, what's wrong with getting married in a church hall? Not like that. Not like a church building. That's so normal. The hallway. The hallway. Like where the doorways are. The hallway. That's where they got married. Here's their wedding picture. Here's their wedding pic in the hallway. You can see they decorate it. Honestly, the dress is not bad. Flowers. Again, you could have just picked flowers, but whatever. Not like a banquet hall. They got married in a hallway. As someone who's mildly white trash, this wedding sounds white trash. I'd love to have a huge, extravagant wedding, but I'd be embarrassed to read vows in front of my family. No, the thought of, like, being, like, having to be like, I love you so much, and, like, be serious in front of my family, like, no. And my friends, no, I could not. I would be like, you guys, this is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing to just be, like, vulnerable up on here like this. I would start doing stand-up. I'd be like, you know what they say about marriage. I know there's some divorces in the crowd tonight. Y'all been divorced twice. That's crazy. Like, I would immediately just turn into Kevin Hart. Like, I would be like, I can't handle public emotional vulnerability, so I'm gonna become Kevin Hart instead. That's what I can handle. Jim Bob looks like this is his bar mitzvah. Kissing someone in front of my parents. And everyone knows what we're going to do afterwards. I'd die, exactly. I'm sorry, but J. Michelle Slade. Not y'all calling her J. Michelle. Quick, count the number of fully formed frontal lobes in that church hallway. 0. My husband and I are so socially awkward. We didn't do personalized vows. Ceremony was like 10 minutes. That's what I'm fucking talking about. He looks like he got his braces off that day. I hate to imagine this man crying. Imagine this man crying and being like, I want to marry your daughter. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house. Okay, Invisalign. Like, the fuck? So, after returning from our honeymoon in Mount Nebu, I don't know where that is, we were looking forward to being in our new home together. It was a small fixer-upper house, about 900 square feet total. That's not that small for 2 people. Jim Bob got such a good deal on it. Of course he did. We spent the rest of our honeymoon fixing up our little house. I like home tour, and that's not a honeymoon to me. What does Jim Publix Bob know about fixing things up? Literally bigger than my biggest place I've ever rented. Exactly. My apartment is 1,200 square feet, but there used to be 3 people living here. Now there's 2. So 900 for 2 people seems super reasonable. Spending your honeymoon doing manual labor, no thanks. It's a random state park in Arkansas. That was their big honeymoon. Jesus. Fixing, we all know that ended up being a DIY from hell. I mean, 900 square feet compared to what they have now is probably tiny. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so where was I? Jim Bob had moved in a month before the wedding, but I didn't move in until after we were married, so this was our first time living together. There were no doors on our kitchen cabinets, so shelves. And the place needed a lot of work, but that was okay. We were living on love, and it was so exciting. It was just so precious to be on our own house together for the first time. Jim with Bob was already being a great husband and working on the car. I remember thinking, oh, how romantic. He's at our house working on our car. That's it. That's it. We were living on love. They were fucking. All that saved money for a state park in Arkansas. A Cody honeymoon is a crime, I think. One thing my mom told me not to do, live on love. How romantic. He contributes to the bare minimum. Good husband equals good with car. I knew y'all were going to be eating this up. Y'all are like 30 seconds behind me. She finds the bare minimum so romantic. That's so sad. It was her first dick. Let her live. Yeah, he can fix a car, but does he do the dishes? No. No. It's funny how the little things you just hold dear to your heart forever. Yeah, you hold the little things dear to your heart forever when there's no other exciting thing to, like, compare to it. Like, there's nothing that's one-upped it. So there they are. We were young and living on love. Very scandalous. Like, you can tell they were not the little conservative Christian people that they are now. Like, look at them. Look at them making out in the front yard. Open mouth kiss in the front yard. The little thing. So true, Jim Bob. Why are y'all so fucking funny? They were getting down. He talks about how they regret not waiting for marriage to kiss. That's so embarrassing. God. Is this that version of U-hauling? They had color photos in the 80s. Why are they in black and white? Oh, the color photos were expensive, so probably because they were broke. That's why they had black and white photos. Yeah, would they go front yard now? No, the fuck they would not. They're not going to be seen like that. So, when we first got married, we thought we would have maybe 2 or 3 children. Michelle started off our marriage taking the birth control pill so we could plan when we wanted children. After 3 years, Michelle went off the pill and we had our first son. He who shall not be named. So, we loved being Demon's parents and getting to spend all of our time with him, but we didn't think we were ready for more children yet, so Michelle went back on birth control pills after Josh was born. The birth control pill. Why do conservatives always call it the birth control pill? Like, there's literally so many. There's a million to choose from. Just make a vomit noise in place of his name. Family planning, birth control, Rosemary's Baby, IR. Me seeing birth control in the Duggar lore, because that really, I was surprised to see this. I was very, very surprised. Because they also called it devil. I'm picturing Demon as baby Grinch. Yeah, but he's like red and he's wearing like a bow tie and one of those weird little Mormon shirts. Inmate 1988. I'm on the pill and my mom literally won't even say the words birth control. This is Pope Benedict's wet dream. How do you end up with 19 kids knowing about birth control? Let's discuss how you end up with 19 kids knowing about birth control. So, there is them with their firstborn, Joshua James, derogatory, in 1988. Honestly, like, they look pretty normal in this pic. Like, Michelle is wearing short sleeves. They're laying, like, they're being pretty cuddly with each other. Like, this looks pretty normal for them. Imagine choosing to give birth 19 times. Exactly. I don't even know if I'm up for one. I don't even know if I can pencil one into my schedule, you know? Things are only going to go downhill from here, I feel like. Can we call him G-Man? Yes. If it wasn't unethical and I was a labor delivery doctor, I would put an IUD in so fast. Is Demon allowed to have his knees out? Exactly. Like, they're being pretty normal. They're being pretty normal. Then, the unexpected happened, followed by the unthinkable. Michelle pregnant, even though she was still taking birth control pills. Girlie probably missed a few days. We've all been there. We thought that was impossible, but we were surprised to find out different. Between her 2nd and 3rd month, Michelle miscarried. When the doctor told us the miscarriage probably happened because she conceived while still on the pill, we were devastated. Through this difficult time, we began to read in the Bible that children are a blessing and a gift from God. How do you say this? Psalm? Oh, I dropped my fidget toy. Psalm? Is that how you say that? Does anyone know? We thought it was impossible. You didn't read the blanket-sized info that on the packet. God needs to shut the book up. Everyone's saying yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we asked God to give us a love for children like he loves children and to forgive us for not desiring to receive his gifts. I got pregnant on the pill and the husband was using a condom. That's actually the opposite of what I need to hear right now. So if you could just put that back where it came from, that would be incredible. If we could just pretend that didn't. The chat delay adds comedic timing. When you go through trauma and cope by having 20 kids. God, you can still love children without having 19 of them. I would argue that having 19 kids means you can't adequately love them. Some strong-ass swimmers. Antibiotics, that could have been it too. Okay, so. It was then that we asked God to give us as many children as he saw fit. A year later, God blessed us with twins and then another baby and another and another. It's amazing what happens when you have unprotected sex constantly. That is wild that you just keep continuously getting pregnant. God did not see fit for 19 kids, girlfriend. Me seeing Jim Bob and Michelle turn their trauma into deeply held religious beliefs based on a Bible verse. Like, the way the Bible verse didn't even say that. Like, the way the Bible verse never said that. It never said have as many kids with no intervention possible. It just said children are a gift. Like, they have gifts for a reason. You don't have to do that. This just reinforces my impulse decision to get Nexaplon at the doctor. How are these people fucking that often with all these kids? We will be getting into Michelle's sexual marriage advice. If you thought we were going to skip over that blog post, you are absolutely incorrect. We will be talking about Michelle's advice for how to keep your husband happy. I'm going to write it down, to be honest. Children are a gift, not 19 of them. If anything, the more you have of something makes it special. So they're less of a gift when there's 19 of them. Because, like, so I used to have one Starbucks tumbler. I had one Starbucks tumbler, and I loved and I cherished it. And it, like, I always made sure it was clean. I would always wash it. It always had its straw with its lid and with the cup. Like, it was always together. Now I have a gazillion of those bitches, and they're a mess. Like, the straws are mixed up. I've lost half the tops. I put them in the dishwasher when you're not really supposed to. So, like, the more you have of something, you kind of value it less, in my opinion. There's no way you can be emotionally available for a classroom full of kids. As someone who's been in a classroom full of kids, that is accurate. You could, like, 12 of them max, I would say. It should be illegal for Michelle to give advice. It's less of a gift. That's why they slowly treat the kids worse and worse. Exactly. Here's some early days pics of them. We saw this pic in color earlier. Maybe this article just put them in black and white, like, for the aesthetic. But here's a bunch of pics of them with their kids. They had a kid every single year. I'm surprised her body didn't blow up after, like, 12. Me the fuck, too. Like, I need to know what's going on there. Is she okay? Probably not. Here's them with their gazillion children. Does Jim Bob have a pregnancy kink? Possibly. So, it was and remember, you might be like, misredacted. We're speeding through their history. This is what they have written. We will get into my version in a moment. So, it was an exciting adventure following God. We certainly never expected to be on television. In 2002, a photo of our family walking into a polling place during Jim Bob's run for U.S. Senate ended up being printed in the New York Times. We will look at the photo. That photo led to a story about our family published in Parents Magazine. Someone at the Discovery Health Channel saw the magazine article. We soon got a phone call asking if they could do a 1-hour documentary about the logistics of raising 14 children. We felt that it was an opportunity to share with the world that children are a blessing and a gift from God. Around that time, we also realized we were outgrowing our home. Since we were committed to living debt-free, we made the decision to begin building a house ourselves. They're very, very being debt-free in their finances and other stuff, like that kind of vibe. This reads like a 13-year-old wrote it. When we look at their homeschool curriculum, you'll understand. Okay, where was I? So it was during that time a television. Oh wait, I skipped it. Sorry. So we were committed to living debt-free. We made the decision to begin the house ourselves. We love getting to work alongside each other as we learn different aspects of construction from many friends and hired professionals. It was during this time that a television network began regularly filming the things we were doing together as a family. Little did we know we would soon be featured on what would become the longest running reality television series in history. Is that true? I don't think so. We are so thankful to Figure 8 Films crew. They have been like family to us. They invested their time and energy into our lives and have been so patient. So this is what Michelle wrote. No man will want you if you have a baggage like debt. TLC has a lot to answer for. Debt-free, okay, Dave Ramsey. She isn't raising them after 6. The other kids are raising them so she can make more. Is she really a mom at this point? I think she's a manager at this point. She's a household manager. And like not a very involved manager. Like the kind of manager that makes the schedule and then like sits in the office for 12 hours like playing internet poker. Me getting ready to bring up all the details that the Duggars conveniently left out. So that is their story according to the Duggars. Oh my God. Harley Elaine first time chat and Harley Elaine subscribed. Thank you. Oh my God, the birth control pill. Someone made that their name. I love when you guys make your names like a joke from the stream, because one thing that I like, a lot of people told me you shouldn't do Twitch, you should do YouTube, because a lot of people are like, most of my audience is not on Twitch. And so the fact that you have to make an account, I feel like low-key turned out to be a good thing, because now we have these hilarious ass names. Okay, momager Kris Jenner vibes, making her kids clock in and out as if she does any work. She's a queen bee, and not in the Beyonce sense, so only in the nature, only just have babies and sit around sense. Just joined for you. Oh my God, thank you. My bio-in-laws have like 19, and the quality of parenting drops the fuck off after like 3. Oh my God. I made an account just for tonight. Oh my God, we love this. I finally completed the pipeline, writing the schedule during the rush for real. Does Michelle have friends outside of mommy groups? I don't think Michelle has friends inside of mommy groups. I don't think Michelle has friends. So what did the Duggars do for money before the show? They never really mentioned that because they did have 14 children. Like, that's a lot to fucking pay for. After they married, neither Jim Bob nor Michelle opted to go to college. Instead, he started selling used cars while also continuing to work at the grocery store. Later, they began operating a towing business. And then about a decade into their marriage, Jim Bob decided to get involved with real estate, and apparently his family has a real estate business, like multiple generations. Just saw that we're on slide 23 of 62. So last stream, we had 88 slides, and we were on here for way too long, and I was like seeing stars. And so I put myself on a 60 slide limit, which is like pretty good that I'm only 2 above my limit. Okay, anyway, Jim Bob decided to get involved with real estate. This is how the family made their money before becoming reality TV stars, and Duggar is still a licensed realtor and owns several commercial properties in his local area as an investor. He also owns a bunch of houses, so he is a landlord. I am 0% surprised he's a landlord. It's like, oh, the guy with 19 kids likes to exploit other people for money? That's shocking. I cannot believe it. I, for one, did not see this coming. I did not. Oh, you have please? Oh, I'm so jealous. He would literally be all of those things. We should all get Chili's on stream nights. Yeah, we should. He gives major slumlord vibes. So easy and on brand. Not the capitalist. Exactly. God, I bet he's so annoying. He is. Watch that. So here is him running for Senate in 1998. The outfits is what's killing me. The fact that she's wearing the outfit. Like, there was no reason for her to put this on. Like, the kids look cute. This is a very normal kid outfit. But, like, why are both of y'all wearing these outfits? That looks like the Madeline book. Loki and Maiden vibes. He said, this is my child's wife. His tie. I didn't notice the tie. Maybe they just had so many kids so they could vote for him and win him the election. Not the Handmaid's Tale cosplay. The kid outfit on a full adult woman. Looking like a politician's posse. Why is his suit jacket so big? The only way he tells her from his prod of children is by her name. 1/15 vote. Why do they look fresh off the Mayflower? That's his dad's suit. It fits like a Donald Trump original. Roly-poly-oly. He looks like 3 children stacked under his suit. Duggar and Fantilization Kink confirm. They look like a weird choir. Chad is going at it tonight. First day of walking lesson. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love when my face hurts so bad from laughing. Imagine they all come out of a clown car. Yeah, what kind of vehicle did they have? Oh my girlfriend wearing boyfriend shirt vibes. This looks like a call for preschoolers. They drove a Greyhound bus. His name is Jim Bob, of course it's a clown car. They had multiple 12-passenger vans on the show. But yeah, on the show, they had teenagers that could drive the vans. Like, this is only kids. Mad bus people. What do you mean? The kids carried them there. The Amish is 6 Flags. Amish people can go to 6 Flags. But why aren't they using a sidewalk? Oh my god. Michelle's art. Use of aerosol hairspray is the reason we have a hole in the ozone. It is a cult for preschoolers. This looks like an ad for Kidley. Copy paste. Resize. I'm surprised they don't have leashes. In the 90s, leashes weren't as popular then. Oh my god. They look like they're all auditioning for different versions of Wendy's mascot. Do I spot an older kid playing teacher in the back to make sure none of the kids get lost? Absolutely, you do. It's giving middle school will you wear a skirt with me vibes. The title Jim Bob for Senate itself sounds so fake, like it had to have been a skip for them. And they decided to make their own army to overthrow the government if he lost. January 6th, the Duggars version. Buddy system. We'll be talking about the buddy system. I literally keep forgetting this was in 1998. They really committed to the bit. SNL would have a field day with this picture. They were the OG January 6th. Why does Giselle look like a cat model? Is it Jim Bob or just more kids in the suit? I'm in so much pain laughing. Y'all are like going at it tonight. Jesus. But what did Giselle's parents have to say about this? I don't know. These kids should union. Why is one kid in blue pants? Jesus was not here for this. The fit is the Duggar Union Red. So true. Her tights are killing. I didn't even notice the tie. Wearing a full-length gown with tights. Can't be that cold outside because they have on short sleeves. Better red than dead. Did they base their outfits on it? Okay. So, moving on to Jim Bob's political career. So, from 1999 to 2003, not his Senate run. His Senate run was later, sorry. Duggar served in the Arkansas House of Representatives for District 6, which was located in northern Washington County. He won his first election in 1998, defeating Kathy McFetridge with 56% of the vote. He was reelected by a wider margin in 2000. Duggar was vice chair of the House of Corrections and Criminal Law. Some racist stuff definitely happened because of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also participated in the committees on insurance and commerce and judiciary. And then in 2002, instead of seeking re-election to the state house, he unsuccessfully ran in the Republican primary election for United States Senate. He was defeated by the incumbent Senator Tim Hutchinson by a lopsided vote of 71,000 to 20,000. In 2006, Duggar unsuccessfully sought out the Republican nomination for District 35 seat in Arkansas State Senate. He lost his opponent, Bill Pritchard, by 200 votes. And then in 2021, I think the outfits played part in him winning. I wish I had a lemonade truly. I wish you do too. So in 2021, after a bunch of stuff had already come out, he announced his second candidacy for the state Senate, running in the 7th district, and he finished third out of the candidates in the primary with only 15% of the vote. Your Truly Lemonade would send Jim Bob into a coma, but are they vaccinated? Probably not. Redacted sipping on a Truly Brown. How many L's is this man willing to take? Me seeing Jim Bob run for state Senate while his eldest son is being outed as an abuser. Like, it was 2021. Sir? 15%, so just family members. So, now I want to play you, speaking of the Duggars' political career, I want to play you Michelle's transphobic robocall from 2014. Not only has Jim Bob run for office, they have also participated in, like, other political stuff with, like, campaigning for their people. Please push redacted to drink. I'm afraid. It's, like, exactly what you'd expect. It's on SoundCloud. It's short. I wouldn't do, like, a long just string of Michelle being transphobic. It's a very short, but I wanted you to hear it straight from her. Not my thing trying to sign me in.
Hello, this is Duggar. I'm calling to inform you of shocking news that will affect the safety of Northwest Arkansas women and children. The Fayetteville City Council is voting on an ordinance this Tuesday night would allow men, yes, I said men, to use women's and girls' restrooms,
Her stupid voice,
showers, sleeping areas, and other areas that are designated for females only. I don't believe the citizens of Fayetteville would want males with past child predator convictions that claim they are female to have a legal right to enter private areas reserved for women and girls. I doubt that Fayetteville parents would stand for a law that would endanger their daughters to allow them.
Does she have gender-neutral bathrooms in her home? Yes, I said men. Like, look at your son.
To be traumatized by a man joining them in their private space. We should never place the preference of an adult over the safety and innocence of a child. Parents, who do you want undressing next to your daughter?
No one.
The public swimming pool's private changing area. I still believe that
Michelle is living it up in that glass house.
Puts women and children first. Women, young ladies, and
your children
deserve to use the restroom of the other women's facility in peace and safety.
Men joining women in their private spaces. You mean like your son.
Call 558-8330 and tell the Fayetteville City Council members and Mayor Jordan to vote no on Ordinance 119. The number again is 5.
Okay, we don't care about the number. But yes, that's why I wanted to play it for you, because of how hard she was projecting. You had a lot of nerve saying this when your son's like that. Exactly. I just felt like this was so obvious projecting, and the phrasing of like, your women and children, their safety, their privacy. Like, literally the call is coming from inside of your glass house. Look in the mirror. It's cool, guys. Biden frame Josh. Oh my God. Girl should know from her son that a bathroom sign won't stop a predator. Oh, man. And someone mentioned that they did have they didn't have gender neutral bathrooms in their house. Like, their girls had separate bathrooms. So, like, clearly that doesn't fix it. Your plan didn't work. So, Okay, so the Quiverful movement is something that the Duggars say they're not a part of, but they are a part of. So the Quiverful movement, its primary focus is producing as many children as possible and raising them to enter government and civil service positions, first formed in 1995. The Duggar family joined this movement at some point in its early years. Their first public connection with the Quiverful movement was in 2001 when Quiverful posted an article referencing them as a success story. The family's original website in 2005 linked to this article, but it didn't go into any depth about the movement, and then by 2007, any reference to the movement had been removed from their website. The Duggars have not gone on to record discussing of this movement. So this whole movement of like having as many kids as possible and being religious and then putting your kids into government positions, which like makes sense because Jim Bob runs for government office like every 45 minutes. How much of your research was conducted on Fundy Snark Uncensored? None, actually. Most of this is straight from the Duggar website. Primaries. So, Quiverful is a Christian theological position that sees large families as a blessing from God. It encourages procreation, abstaining from all forms of birth control, as well as natural family planning and sterilization. You can't even have natural family planning, bitch. Some sources have referred to Quiverful position as proven to dentalism, while others, I don't know what those words mean. Quiverful adherents believe that they are building an army for God, or at least an army of conservative Christians. It's most widespread in the U.S., but it's around the rest of the world too. One 2006 estimate put the number ranging from families in thousands to the low tens of thousands. What are you snacking on? This. I gotta take the last one. They're very good. I'm a bad student. That's okay. They gotta taste like wax, but in a good way. So, in the book, A Love Multiplies, Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar wrote, even though Wikipedia and some internet blogs report that we're a part of the Quiverful movement, we are not. We are simply Bible-believing Christians who desire to follow God's word and apply it to our lives. God says children are a gift and a blessing, and we believe it. But, like, then why was it on your website for a while? Is what I'm personally wondering. Just right off the bat is what I am wondering. I love all the implied proper nouns. Look, not all kids are blessings, let's be real. Bible-believing Christians. Yeah, it's a little redundant. What do they have against Quiverful? Exactly. It's like, okay, for people that are not in it, you seem to be bringing it up a lot. I'm saying. That church and state connection, just like the founding fathers. Okay. So, back to the Duggars. They're homeschooling. The Duggars made the decision to homeschool their children when Josh was 5 years old. So really none of them, what was his name again? G-Man. When G-Man was 5 years old. In later years, they would say they made this decision because they felt it was the best way to teach our Christian values. And Arkansas public schools are basically church. So I think they're being dramatic. Where was I? As their oldest children grew enough to help out, the responsibility of schooling began to be the one that Michelle shared with them so that the younger kids would always have some help. Interesting. The Duggars have used a variety of different homeschool curriculum over the year, but the Advanced Training Institute is one of the constant presences in their schooling. Christian schools exist. Those kids are dumb, so this checks out. So, why the Duggars homeschool program is concerning, trigger warning, abuse, but we're not going to talk about it in depth, and it's not G-Man. It's somebody else. The Duggars teach their children through a system created by the Advanced Training Institute, a part of the Institute in Basic Life Studies Ministries. That organization made headlines 2014 to 16 when the leader, Bill Gothard, was accused of multiple instances of molestation and sexual harassment, with 10 accusers filing lawsuits against him, and the Institute on charges of rape, harassment, and cover-up. So that is the person in charge of their homeschool curriculum. And then Recovering Grace is a support group for people affected by Goddard's teachings, and has shared samples of literature addressing those issues. A booklet titled Moral Failures in Families suggests that boys may molest younger siblings if they're not kept busy enough at home or if their parents allow them to babysit or change diapers. Who even know who is G-Man's role model? Wonder where their son learned his ways from. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So this is like who has created their homeschooling. Me seeing that a man in power who created curriculum that emphasizes power, control, and patriarchy is an abuser. It's always convenient that those people tend to be the same people. I find that pattern to be quite interesting. Very, very interesting. That shit was common enough you put it in your book? Yeah, exactly. So, Institute and Basic Life Principles. 14 Children and Pregnant Again features the Duggar family packing up and heading to a homeschool conference in Big Sandy, Texas. This conference is one of the biggest gatherings of the Institute of Basic Life Principles Advanced Training Institute. Those are the people we were talking about. This was the first public connection of tying to the Duggars to this group. The group lists the following goals on their website. It says, the Institute and Basic Life Principles was established for the purpose of introducing people to the Lord Jesus Christ and is dedicated to giving individuals, families, churches, schools, communities, governments, and businesses clear instruction and training in how to find success by following God's principles found in Scripture. These goals are commonly accomplished primarily through seminars, educational programs, printed literature, and the operation of centers to facilitate training. I don't want to go here. Bad things have happened there. Very bad things have happened there. The Duggars regularly have shown to follow the Institute's practices, including only long skirts and long hair on women, homeschooling the children, limiting access to television and modern media, and adhering to strict gender roles at all times. In addition to the ATI conference in Big Sandy, many older Duggar children have been attending other functions such as the Journey to the Heart and Alert training. It's glitching again. I really don't even know what to do about that. But because last time got better after a couple seconds, hopefully that can happen again. That's my stance. So let's look at some of the homeschool curriculum. Not that many people are buying this because I found a lot of it for free. I found a very, very significant amount of it for free. So they can't be that important. So, new biblical character illustrated curriculum available. Pretty much all of their curriculum is taught through religious stuff. Loyalty, boo. So all of their like math, it's like here's God's math. Science, here's God's science. So, here's some of the stuff they have. Biblical foundation of characters, truthfulness, gratefulness, orderliness, virtue, general sincerity, wisdom analogies, character sketches, crossword books, like it's school stuff, ABC memory book. That's some of the stuff that they have. This is, where'd it go? Okay, we'll look at a whole collection. But this book right here, The American Ideal of 1776, I wanted to focus on this one because I really think that this one is fucking crazy. So the American Ideal of 1776, it says the principles are: the spiritual is supreme, fear of government over man, unalienable rights from God, man organizes to be his tools, limited government, decentralized government, equal by God's gift in sight of gods and law, life in pursuit of happiness, liberty against government over man, private property, liberty support, taxes limited to safeguard liberty, and the majority limited for liberty. So, God is 3-in-1 God math. So, the American Ideal of 1776. This is the description from the website. It says, there are those who claim that if American government acknowledges God, it is practicing religion, which is prohibited by the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, which allegedly requires separation of church and state. Ron DeSantis would love us. This view ignores the legal documents that articulate the American philosophy of government. A governmental philosophy that presupposes the existence of the Creator is essential to fundamental legal concepts such as equal protection, due process, and unalienable rights. The Declaration of Independence, a legal covenant that brought the United States of America into existence, specifically declared the philosophy of government of one which our nation was to be built. All men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. The political philosophy that presupposes the existence of the Creator God. This is boring. This is so boring. I'm so sorry. The views just dropping because I realized this was so boring. This is the important part. In the classic book, The American Ideal of 1776, the author documents and explains 12 fundamental principles that are central to the philosophy of government in the United States. This is the kicker. IBLP has obtained a limited quantity of these out-of-print books. Out of print. The publishers decided, this is fucking weird, and we're going to pack it up. The publishers decided it's a no from us. Though written in 1963, the information remains just as applicable to us today. So the fact the publisher was like, yeah, we're done with that because that was really fucking weird. But then these people tracked down some copies to sell them, and on the website it's like, oh, your copy might have some tears or like some folds in it because they're not making new ones. There might be a reason they're not making new ones. So there's a fucking book. Me seeing that a literal relic that was taken out of production being used for homeschool materials. They said they're not printing that anymore, child. Like, exactly. My favorite Fundy writer only uses dictionaries from before 1950. Oh my God. Some books should be burned. List of things that would put Jim Bob into a coma. Me using the 8th edition of a book to teach a class. Seriously, you think using books from 1963 is beneficial? Cult. Exactly, it's scary. Anyone in the chat use Abeka? So a lot of people in my TikTok comments were like, the Duggar family uses Abeka. But I looked it up and they don't. Some of their kids use Abeka for their kids, but the new original Duggar family doesn't. At least that I could find online. The publishers. Well, we need to take this book out of production. It's so antiquated and not inclusive. Christian cult people. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We'll be reading it. That's actually our book club for this week. I'm not convinced Jim Bob can read. Oh my God. It's putting the eye on the bite model. What's the bite model? You said it's a system to identify cults, but I want to know more. I want to know a lot more about that. Okay, so here are some other deeply concerning books that I found on this website. The role of pastors and Christian in government. How should a Christian contribute to public affairs? They shouldn't. Here is one of their wisdom worksheets. Pretty much every single, I know it's super tiny and you can't read it, but pretty much every single thing on here, let me see if I can make it bigger. No, it doesn't here. Oh, shit. Oh. Can do a little scrolly scroll. Pretty much every single thing on here has Bible verses in it. Like the law one, it says, how do mountains illustrate the characteristics of God's law? How is that civics? That's not civics. That is not civics. GM Michelle. Y'all talking about Michelle and Jim Bob not knowing how to read. Linguistics, it's all stuff from the Bible. It's literally terrifying. So, backfired. America is known around the world for its freedom. People have come from virtually every nation, culture, racial background, economic class, and religion to live in the U.S. Blah, 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 blah. How America went from pilgrims seeking freedom to express their Judeo-Christian beliefs to today's intense discrimination against those very beliefs. Also learn how attacking these beliefs will eventually destroy the foundation for our freedom. Backfired is a sobering but much needed look into today's American culture. Also, pretty much everything is on sale. I'm about to buy the book just to read what's in it. Maybe they're illiterate. They did spell ginger with a J. Oh my god. So, more deeply concerning literature from them. This is more from their little wisdom books. Why is the body of water a haven for the invalids? Where did Christ meet woman at the well? This is literally from like their history section. All of their history stuff is Bible history. All of it is Bible history. Absolutely. This is from science. This is the science section. It says, since God refers to the physical eyes and the spiritual interchangeably, we are also able to compare the irregularities of our physical eyesight with the irregularities of our spiritual eyesight. How is that the science section? Like, how is this the science curriculum? And on their show, they would be like, oh, we use homeschool. It has math, science. It has everything like regular kids do. I can't wait for Derek Dillard to go off. That's a whole lot of words for nothing. Jim Bob said, open your third eye. Spiritual eyesight. So deeply concerning. So fucking weird. Blindness and spiritual, don't worry about it. Me realizing you should do a stream on right-wing Christian cults that are trying to turn the U.S. into Gilead. Interesting. What are we thinking of that? Also, there's something in my eye. I think my contact is on inside out. Okay. To the people who were talking about Christian schools before I went to, and it's actually not any better. I hate it has math and science. Yeah, it technically has math. Technically, we are doing math. Let me just pray my astigmatism away. Seeing this, like, yeah, about the same. They were lying. That does not have any modern math or science in it. Oh my god. Girl, if my contact was inside out, I'd be on the floor. Is it? I don't know. Burn the books. So, moving on to Duggar dating. You don't date a Duggar. You court a Duggar. So this is internet. Dating is casually getting to know a person you may eventually have a romantic relationship with, while courting is romantically involved with someone with the intent of marrying. So dating is like, let's get to know each other. Let's like make out in your car. Let's like go to the beach. Let's go out to eat. Like, it's like dating. You're getting to know each other. But courting is like, I want to marry you. So I'm going to take you on some supervised ass dates so that I can marry you. You take a Duggar to court. Jim Bob's about to get courted, y'all. Okay, so Michelle and Jim Bob require that every single courtship date is chaperoned, so no funny business can happen. The chaperone must have clear guidelines for what is acceptable and what is not. I want to know the guidelines. All intimate relationships are monitored with group chats. If dad choosing who you date isn't bad enough, both Jim Bob and Michelle have full access to the girls' private conversations. Because they're not allowed to text each other privately, the parent has to be included in the text. Because before Jessa married Ben, he asked if he could text her since he lived a couple hours away. And the elder Duggars agreed only if they were included in every text. So, I think that's horrifying. Here, I put these out of order. Oopsies. That's what I wanted to put. Me and my being added to every text my boyfriend sends me. Like, that's horrifying. A group chat with your parents and your boyfriends and your boyfriend running away. I would never be down bad for a man again. Save room for Jesus energy. I want to be a fly on the wall in the kids' therapy sessions. The abuse is not even hidden. Got a down kick. Did he only act that way towards his daughters? Yeah, pretty much. I know he's pissed. He didn't do his homework with Derek. Me and the boyfriend and the parent in the group chat. Wow, that homework was something. Where was it? They were trying to make sure the girls didn't leak how bad they were. Yeah, exactly. I want to be oh, I already read that one. Oops. Nope, I'm actually celibate from here on out. So one of their older daughters still lives with them and hasn't really courted and isn't married. And so a bunch of people think that she's a lesbian. And I'm like, maybe that's true. Or maybe she's just like, I'll just wait till they die. She's like, I physically can't do this. Like, I refuse to date this woman until they die. And I'll start living on that day. Voluntary celibate. Have to endure the group chat. Oh my God, wait. I'm Raya Lim. I'm unfortunately busy Wednesday evenings for the next couple weeks, but I'm constantly watching the replays on YouTube. Had to pause one of your videos to comment here. Oh my God, hi. No, but I think Jana. Yeah, Jana's the one that's still there. Derek and Ben basically stalked them. Derek befriended Jim Bob. Interesting. She'll still outlive Jay Michelle after those 19 births. When one of the newer generations sneaks on TikTok, it's inevitable. Oh my God, you're so right. But anyway, I was thinking about how embarrassed I would be if my boyfriend had to group text with my parents. And then I thought about it, and my boyfriend, like, he's one of those people that only text to communicate something. Like, he's not going to text you just to talk to you. Because he'd be like, well, let's hang out. Why would we text each other? So literally the only things he texts me are like, on my way. Where are you? Like, I got this for you. Can you pick this up from the store? Like, the questions. Like, they're not anything. But, like, I feel like if my parents saw our conversation, they'd be like, wow, y'all barely text each other. Because my parents text all the fucking time. It's very funny to me. Utilitarian texting. Yes, that's the word. He's a very utilitarian texter. They could have streamlined this whole thing by only having one text phone enabled for all 19 kids. You have to go to the common phone in the living room. Me now researching for Jana. We think Jana is still at the house because she's probably running it. Michelle ain't teaching nobody. Yeah, that's true. I think Jana takes care of a lot of the younger siblings. Jana is an employee. Okay, so more weird dating shit. Jim Bob has total control over who his adult daughters date. He's been called the gatekeeper of his daughters. Before a guy can even get close to a Duggar daughter, he must get Jim Bob's permission. Jim Bob doesn't just act as a middleman, but he also pushes guys he prefers onto the girls. If you are done, you aren't married, you are not allowed to give or receive front hugs. Only side hugs are allowed in this family. Imagine you're dating a guy and you're like, oh, we can't front hug. Like, my family doesn't do the front hug thing, so I can't front hug you. Like, what the fuck? Jim Bob and Michelle feel that a front hug with a potential future partner requires too much physical contact. Someone referred to Jim Bob as a pimp, and that's not wrong. So Michelle said, we believe it's best for them to save the physical part for marriage. But what if they're adults? They're literally adults to make that choice for themselves. The crazy thing about that. So here is Michelle's marriage advice from her blog. She said, so don't forget that he needs you. So when you're exhausted at the end of the day, maybe from dealing with little ones, and you fall into bed so exhausted at night, don't forget about him, because you and he are the only ones who can have that time together. No one else in the world can meet that need. The Duggar matriarch said it was important not just to be available, but to be joyfully available, no matter the circumstances. Smile and be willing to say, yes, sweetie, I'm here for you. No matter what, even though you may be exhausted and big, pregnant, you may not feel the feels, I'm still here for you. I'm going to meet that need because I know it's a need for you. She wrote this and hit send. It's giving keep sweet. So Ashley Madison can't meet that need. No, fudge and fetus meat. Oh my God. She got pregnant after Josie but left the baby. Oh, she did? Did Jim used car salesman Bob rub her feet every once in a while? That's so sad. It really is sad. This is how you have 19 kids. No, literally. You're telling me he didn't cheat on her? They are keep sweet. Very much keep sweet energy. This was her, I guess. It's a need, but no sex before marriage. Exactly. So sad. Jim Bob is the kind of guy to ask for an extra stitch. He really is. He definitely is extra stitch energy. I accidentally skipped over this meme. Because we were being serious, I kind of felt it was inappropriate now, but I don't know. I still laughed. That's like hiding air behind a paywall. Readery4, thank you for subscribing with Prime 2 months. I guess Jim Bob probably doesn't even know how to take care of himself. Oh my God, you're probably right. I wonder... Never mind. I don't want to say that out loud. Jim Bob is a pillow princess. Stop. Y'all know, I'm going to deny this. If anyone at work brings this up, I'm going to deny it. I work in an open ass area, and I made this at work with everyone around me. People are like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. I'm working. I'm working. Very important work happening here while I'm like literally using the magic eraser tool around Michelle's hair. More Michelle marriage advice. She said, don't ever put your husband down in front of your children or other people, especially your families. Talk privately. We always say in our family, we praise publicly, but we correct privately. And that's marriage advice I would give to anyone. Graphic design is my passion. Graphic design is absolutely my passion. So I didn't love this. I feel like this is a little weird. I get the sentiment because it's like, oh, like if you have a problem with me, like it's us, let's address it between us. But this feels different than that, I guess. Who decided to praise publicly and critique privately? Oh God, though, we're not allowed to disagree in front of the kids. We know that, honey. It's giving of Jim Bob. Imagine being of Jim Bob. I can't think of a worse of name of Jim Bob. Are you kidding me? So, Duggars Eat. This is about their food and their whole grocery situation. This is from 2014. I tried to stick to stuff before their recent scandals because, like I said, that's not what we're here to do. So Michelle Duggar has revealed that she sticks to a $5 per person daily food budget in her 20-person household. Again, this is older, so I think now it would be 21 person. The 47-year-old who has 9 daughters and 10 sons. Oh, just kidding. 20 person is 21 person. Idiots. Ranging from 3 to 26 years old with her husband, Jim Bob, writes for her blog on TLC that she spends an average of $3,000 a month on groceries. On her family's website, they have a bunch of different recipes. These inflation numbers, no, they're really not. They're not. Her children have a lower food budget than literal prisoners. There's some school food. What's a poor man's pizza? We're going to look at some of the food. So here's them at the grocery store. I was trying to find, I remember on their show where they showed their carts, and I couldn't find it anywhere online. Here's their pantry in their house. This is an older one. I think this might be their old house because it looks like it's in a garage. Here's another shot of their pantry. Again, this is where Jim Bob was like, oh, I used to work at a grocery store, so I know how to do this. And like, know how to stock shelves. You mean the job they can train you in one day? The job where you can get trained on the job and know how to do it. You know how to do that. That's your whole personality. The handmaiden outfit. This girl got a supermarket in their home. You'd have to live in a grocery store to keep all those kids fed. No, you literally would. Here's another shot of their pantry. You can see lots of cans. So chili Frito pie is one of their dishes. Again, not a vegetable in sight. They have lots of recipes. Part of me, so like, this is my dream. If I ever am like making enough money on the internet where I don't have to work for a living, I want to do a series where I make recipes from reality TV shows and then like rate them. So like I would make Kate Gosselin's recipes, the Duggar recipes. Like I want to be a recipe channel, but just for reality TV. Like I can try and attempt to make Vinny's mom's Italian dinner, and that would be like a 24-hour live stream because it would take me that long. Michelle has to be an extreme couponer. No, this recipe actually fucks. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it doesn't have vegetables in it. It does not appear. Tater tot casserole. This is one of their classics. Again, all their food just doesn't appear to have a ton of natural color to it. Would find interesting. Jana got arrested for child endangerment after one of the kids she was watching got out and went on the street. Oh, I did see that. They shouldn't have thrown her under the bus like that. Very nutritionally dense. It would be good with peppers or something. Michelle loves a good sheet pan meal. Sad beige food for sad beige Christian. That might be the chat. That might be the one. Oh my god. What's for dinner? Yellow? No seasoning. I would get scurvy, but it still slaps. That's what I mean. None of it looks bad, but I don't think you should be eating like this every day. Here's hash brown casserole. Another quick, delicious casserole able to the crowds that needed. Also, tater tot casserole and hash brown casserole just look like tater tots and hams with like cheese and cream. That's what this looks like. This is. never met a cracker before. Tell me what's the difference between those. That's what I'm saying. Not gonna lie, I'm country as fuck. This looks banging. I have eaten the fuck out of a tater tot casserole and a hash brown casserole, which are roughly the same thing. And what I'm saying is this is not a balanced meal for children that are growing. Children that are growing need like vegetables and shit, not hash brown casserole for every meal. Duggar's Deli and Diner. This absolutely sent me. I don't know why. This picture made me laugh so fucking much. Next, crinkle cut casserole. Potato casserole, but in different font. I'd eat both, but it's literally just yellow. This is not the only thing you eat. So Duggar's Deli and Diner. Here's their kitchen. So it's like a giant kitchen up front, but it looks like a house kitchen. Like it has regular cabinets and like 2 microwaves, 2 ovens over here, I think, big thing, whatever. But then back through these doors behind it, they have like a commercial kitchen. So here's their more commercial kitchen. I'm sure it takes 2 hours to cook one meal. Her flip-flops, her grippers were out. Wait, where? Where are the flip-flops? Oh my god, here. I don't know who this is. I think this is one of the kids. So here's their commercial kitchen. She has that Kim K kitchen. I'll admit, dream kitchen. Ginger posing by the tater tot casserole, please. It's so funny. Kim K kitchen, vegetarian. Sorry guys, I gotta do my 9 to 5 at my house kitchen. Someone photoshopped that guy from Bear in there. Gordon Ramsay asking if Giselle is an idiot sandwich. Okay. Moving on to one of the more disturbing things about this family is blanket training. So they use blanket training. Blanket training is a form of corporal punishment to discipline toddlers and infants and train them to have self-control. The baby is required to sit on a blanket for a period of time with a device. If they move off that blanket, they're likely swatted with something similar to a ruler. And Michelle Duggar in an interview was talking about this. She was like, you don't hit them hard. It's just training them to listen to mommy's voice. It's training them to be like, oh, stay on the blanket. Like, she didn't say they hit them. She said, like, you, like, nudge them, basically. Let's call it blanket training. We'll hit them with her. So in addition to training, the Duggars discipline their children with a rod. When any other 18 kids fall out of line, they can be expected to be spanked with what children call the rod. While neither Bob nor Michelle has admitted to any physical punishment for the kids, police investigators exposed the existence of the rod in 2015. So this is what gets me, is like, this might be wrong, I'm not a parent, but the level of control that they have over their kids and how well-behaved their kids are, and I mean the term well-behaved in the very traditional sense of quiet, follow directions, listen, don't have outbursts. Like, they're very, like, children should be seen and not heard vibes. I don't think you achieve that kind of self-control and loyalty from a kid without abuse of a physical kind, especially. Because kids, it's their nature to ask questions and things like that. And you can tell, like, when a kid is really well behaved, but they feel comfortable asking their parents things and making mistakes. And it seems like the Duggar kids are not comfortable making mistakes, which in my opinion shows that they were probably being hit for making mistakes and having unregulated emotions. Because, like, you can have kids that are very well behaved and listen to their parents, but they still display unregulated emotions at times because they're kids. That's what kids do. But if kids have, from birth, their unregulatedness has been met with, like, a physical punishment, they're gonna, like, get out loyalty, obey vibes really fast. DBT would eviscerate this family. I'm a toddler parent. That's 100% spot on. It's taught in their religion, so sad to treat kids like that. Physical abuse is super normalized in these circles. They're not well behaved, they're traumatized. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, what the Duggars perceive as well behaved. And to me, well behaved, your kid is, like, kind. A quiet child is not a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So I told you guys we weren't going to be getting super into, like, all the abuse and all that, just because I didn't want it to be that kind of a vibe, and condolences to the victims here. I don't want to, like, speak on their experience. But we're going to move on to some other not as heavy stuff, including the buddy system, which is basically just a girl-bossed version of parentification of older children. So at some point prior to 2001, the Duggar family implemented a buddy system where each older child was paired with a younger child to assist with tasks like dressing, bathing, feeding, and schooling. By 2009, the family switched over to buddy teams, where each of the 4 oldest daughters had 2 to 4 younger buddies. So literally they were like, oh, you as a 17-year-old, here are your 4 kids. Have fun. Enjoy. Using violence to scare your kids out of learning and managing their emotions, then immediately marrying them off to your friends. No, literally insane. Momager training camp. J. Mitch said you can be a momager too. She's like, anyone can do it. You were born for this. Inflation hit the Duggar household. So here's a side note. On their website, they have their favorite things, and one of them is the Creation Museum. I think we should go here. I think the Misredacted field trip should be here. So this family-friendly attraction near Cincinnati explores creation science with stunning exhibits, dinosaur bones, fossils, botanical gardens, zip line course, and more. The Creation Museum shows why God's infallible world, rather than man's faulty assumptions, is the place to begin if we want to make any sense of our world. This 75,000 square foot facility allows families to experience Earth history as God has revealed it in the Bible. Nearly 150 exhibits feature fearsome animatronic dinosaurs, talking heroes of the faith, and professional displays that honor God's word. The museum also boasts a fun-filled 200-seat special effects theater, state-of-the-art planetarium, a petting zoo, and nature trails. That's their Chicago bean. Jim Bob is the new Noah. He built his own ark. 1010 would go and get kicked out in 15 minutes. God sighting. I think here, if this is the same place I'm thinking of, oh, what's his name? He has like a late night show and he's kind of annoying. I think it's Bill Maher. That might not be right though. He went here, I think, and they had like, it showed like humans walking around with dinosaurs because they were like, yeah, God created them all when the earth was created in the 7 days. Like that's what this place is. So that's why I want to go there to learn. So another intense rule that the Duggars have is that they're not allowed to dance. According to Michelle and Jim Bob, dancing can be sensual and bring out certain temptations. For this reason, Duggars were not allowed to dance because they wanted to keep their lives as innocent as possible. Plus, Jessa told E! News that modern day music often promotes sex, which is why the Duggars only play gospel music. It's unclear if kids were allowed to dance when they were little, but it seems that nobody was ever allowed to dance around their significant other or at public event. They said, okay, Footloose cosplay. No, literally. Jim Bob Duggar, I dance. I'm from the town in Footloose. So there was a scene where one of their kids like dancing in a store, like they pressed a toy and it started making music. And one of their kids, he looked like he was like 4 or 5, was like doing like that little dance that little kids do. And they were like, we don't dance. Stop doing that. We don't dance. And that's so sad to me because dancing and listening and enjoying music, I think, is like really a part of human nature and the human experience. Because if you look back, so like as far as you can go in history, at every single culture, people have had music. Like people have enjoyed music together. I think it's like a really natural human urge to enjoy music. It's one of the most basic human traits is dancing. Imagine Jim Bob in a Zumba class. Is that why we don't do that here? What a heathen. That child is going to hell. As a PE teacher, this breaks my heart. No happiness for you. They're white as hell, so let's be real. He can't dance. Jim Bob probably doesn't know how to dance, so he was like, no dancing. Dancing is forbidden. The Duggars that have escaped need help, bro. OMG. Imagine Duggar stitching a TikTok, one of those girlies doing a TikTok dance. The crux of working through trauma is learning how to deal with emotions. The kids are being taught to not feel their emotions in their body. Foul. The feeling of listening to music in the car is unmatched. Michelle is so fake. She was a cheerleader. Exactly. That's what's crazy to me, is that they were normal. Duggar dress code. So early in their marriage, Jim Bob and Michelle used the Bible as their guide to clothing. I'm assuming this is like when they got off their whole birth control, like acceptance, and they became like really intense with the Christianity shit. After seeing passages about gender-specified clothing and not uncovering the thigh, they decided that the family would always be covered from the neck to the knees. Michelle and the girls, all 9 of them, were always seen with dresses or long skirts and shirts with sleeves. They could wear leggings under a dress, but never pants alone. So Michelle is giving Stockholm Syndrome. In a now-deleted blog post she wrote for TLC in 2012, she wrote, growing up, I would wear a bathing suit or shorts and not realize that it was revealing. When I got older, I really felt convicted about my responsibility for how I was causing others to be defrauded. And I began to cover up because I felt responsible for my part in that. What? Like, literally, what are you talking about? Like, that makes no sense. What are you talking about? In another post, the Duggar matriarch clarified that her husband and explained to her how much men see things and what goes on in their mind when they look at women. So he was like, yeah, we actually objectify you. So if I see your knees, all I can think about is your titties. So cover that shit now that you're married to me, bitch. That's kind of the vibe that I get. We know how Jim Bob sees things. He didn't fall in love with you in a burqa, exactly. He was like, look at that fine-ass girl in that cheerleading outfit with the shorts. He was like, I'll marry her. And then they got married, and he was like, cover your fucking knees. Knees, covered at all times. I don't want to see the fucking knees. The knees are for our bedroom. Cover your fucking knees, Michelle. This is crazy. Jim Bob is nasty. Jim Bob is nasty. Me look at Michelle's comments about dressing modestly in high school. Jim Bob loves a kneecap. It is giving abuse. It is giving abuser. Jim Bob said those knees are my property. Along with this giant house that I made my children build. Showing her ankle, what a slut. I didn't realize it was revealing because it wasn't. She acts like she was like, yeah, I used to walk around on the Vegas Strip with pasties, but that's just like really not who I am anymore. But he promotes makeup. Exactly. He had no problem with her cheer outfit and marrying her at 17. Interesting. So, I felt Michelle being a victim also was a great slide to end off on, but Michelle is also now a protector of abusers and doesn't sympathize with victims. So, here we are. What game do we want to do from Hoe to House? Like, literally, she was the first one. So, what game version do we want to do? It's not over. We still have the game. But yeah, that's the Duggar lore. That did kind of stop abruptly. I feel like normally I'm always so rushed, which is why I wanted to do this, because I like to be around an hour and a half. Yes, I will put the Nearpod in the chat. Space. Okay, that's what I saw. Space, because the Duggars want to launch me into orbit. Oh my god. So, if you like to play the game, you can... Oh, wrong thing. If you would like to play the game, you can go to this link in a window, or like if you're on a computer, do a new tab, or if you're on your phone, you don't have to download the app or anything. Sorry, someone just texted me something really jarring. You can go to join.nearpod.com and enter the code RXMQF. It will ask for your name. Name will come up. You don't have to put your real name in. You can put like a joke in there. Nothing like weird or offensive, please. I'll put the code back up there. You don't have to play. We're all going to be hanging out here and talking about the game as well. So if you don't want to play, you can just watch and the questions will come up on screen so you can just kind of play and keep track in your mind. When you answer the questions, it judges you based on if you're correct and how quickly you answer. What is the Biden's response to Jim Bob Duggar? Trivia quiz game of what we learned. Exactly. Wait, did you hear about how they would invite strangers to stay with them and one stole one of the girls' diaries? No, but that's very fucking weird. Can the country come together and sign up as a petition? Oh, God. My mom said if I didn't get a good score, I can't play my soccer game tomorrow, and she's right about that. Holy shit, there's 76 people in the game. I'll give you all a few moments to join. Oh, I just burped. Oh, my friend's baby. My mom's friend stole my diary when I was a kid. That's concerning. That's very concerning. I'm concerned. I'll give people a couple more seconds. Holy shit, there's 117 people in the game. 19. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Oh, the code. You want it again. Just kidding, I'm not going to hit start. People are requesting the code. There you go. It's also at the top. It's always at the top. Just FYI. It's up here. Or you can click, let me get the link again. That. There you go. Code, link. I'll give you a few seconds and then I'm going to go ahead and hit start. My mom read my diary after an argument as a kid and that's how she found out by. There's worse ways to find out, I suppose. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and hit start. If you haven't joined yet, you can still join. It'll let you join late. But let's get into it. What family did we learn about today? Oh my god, someone made their name Buddy System. going to be guessing. A lot of the questions are really easy. The Duggar family. Please do a John and Kate plus H stream. Possibly. It's definitely not off the table. Michelle always dressed very conservatively. True or false? My thumb, wrong answer. Please do a Kardashian stream. I don't think I know enough about the Kardashians, but maybe. I feel like you were the teacher to have lollipops for kids who won the Kahoots. I always stood by, you get a prize for winning the game. If I don't have candy, I'll give you an extra credit point or something. But like I'll give you something. Because otherwise no one wants to play. And like my class, the kids would get so competitive over the games. And they were like, how do you get them to do that? And I was like, literally give them 50-cent candy or 1 extra credit point. Are you going to do a John and Kate plus H stream? I don't know. So what happens sometimes is I'll really want to do a stream and then I start working on the slides and I'm really not into it. And I'm like, this isn't going to be good. So then I can't do it. So I don't want to promise you anything because my feelings could change once I start researching. We do need to do a historical event stream. We have not done like actual history in a minute. So maybe we'll do that next week. I'm thinking about doing Banana Wars. So maybe Banana Wars moment. Troubled teen industry stream. That's too depressing. I don't think I can handle that. My teacher used to give us candy until this kid decided to choke on it one day, and we gave her a candy jar at a funeral. Oh my god. I think you were saying the kid died and you gave her a candy jar at his funeral, and I was like, that was uncalled for. I think a stream on mommy vlogger culture would be interesting. Ooh, also I want to do like a mommy wine culture. I feel like that would be a very interesting topic. Why did the Duggars stop using birth control? And it was a miscarriage. MLM stream. Oh, that is a good one. I love an MLM stream. Ugh, I keep burping from the Truly Brown. Love a good maybe that one will be next. Water bottle gate lore stream. What was water bottle gate again? I got too fast and picked the wrong answer. We've all been there. Insurance companies are a pyramid scheme. Real estate's also a pyramid scheme. Any stream you choose is always fun because the passion behind it is what makes it so fun. Thank you. And that's the realization that I came to, is like some of my favorite ones have been the most random topics that I'm into. So I just try and pick stuff like that. College athletes being able to profit off their name and likeness. I'm in favor of that. I always felt like it was weird that they couldn't. Oh my god, G-Man Child being in #1. What did Jim Bob do for money before the show? If you enjoy teaching about it, we enjoy learning. So yeah, who knows what will be on stream next week. This is a really random question, but are any of you like managers of like hotels or restaurants? Because this company was like, not because of my internet thing, but just because of my mom's friend. They were like, hey, we want to pay you to make little classes that people can give to their employees at restaurants and hotels. So I was like, okay. But I'm just curious, do any of you want to buy that? Probably not. May not. Amanda, thank you for gifting a subscribe. I missed grocery store. Oh, I'm sorry. What office did Jim Bob hold? Arkansas House of Representatives. Not a ton of competition there, I don't think. How do Duggars educate their children? An incredibly toxic wellness center. I would love for him to be exposed. Oh no, my lady niece, where'd you go? The answers were too long to read this quickly. I know I meant to change it. I'm sorry. I meant to increase the time here and I flopped. It's my fault. Now I'm thinking about the Frito chili, but like as a dip, not a pie. I think that's for like chips. They lose me at pie. What do the Duggars do instead of dating? When people write XDN instead of Christian. What do they do instead of dating? The show Next, the show Parental Control, Courting, and Arranged Marriages. I read those out of order. Oops. Side hug. Side hugs only. You get one side hug and then you have to decide if you want to marry them. This is how it works. Definitely Next. Borderline arranged. It is borderline arranged. Jim Bob's Next profile would be wild. Oh my god. What common children's activity is not allowed in a Duggar household? Love at first side hug. Imagine having to use the phrase front hug in real life. Don't front hug me. Aw, Mandy. I'm vibing to the Nearpod music. Isn't it like not terrible? I wouldn't get annoyed at this. First time I've gotten 10/10 on one of these. That's what we're here for, Kaylee. That is what we are here for. Imagine getting caught front hugging. Listen to this thing. Alrighty. In first place, we have a Walmart shopping cart. Stop! Walmart shopping cart. In second place, we have G-Man Child. Then, Megan, K, Michelle's kneecap. Karen Collins, Haley, Cynthia, Joe Biden, Lady Knees, Tia, Maya, Poo-Poo, Mandy, Gina Richards, Jamanda, Michaela, Allie, Michelle, Colin, Hannah, Hate It Here, Amy, Elizabeth, Lemur Banana, Melly, A. Medellin, and Scar. That's the top 30. I'll scroll through the rest. I see Weed Queen, Cheerleader Jashelle, Brussels Sprout is here, Michelle's Knees, the other Duggar. Is one of the Duggars in the call with us right now? Sarah H. or Sarah S. Is that Sarah Shower? Perhaps. Kneecaps again. Thank you for playing the game. We love to see it. This was like a very high participation stream and game. I'm impressed. Look, it can't even handle there being so many of you. Normally the limit's 100, but Nearpod gave me a higher limit. Look at that. We love to see it. So, thank you so much for joining me. This was really super fun. I feel like it was the perfect amount of like lightheartedness, but also serious commentary. Y'all were making me cry, laugh during the part about, oh my, I don't know if you just heard my back crack. That felt so. When is Nearpod going to sponsor you? They kind of do, because they gave me this account for free. So I get like unlimited, like highest level Nearpod forever, which is cool. So thank you to Nearpod for that. But any other Duggar questions, comments, icks, any of that, feel free to drop them here. I will hang out for a couple of minutes with you guys. That Duggar couponing. Oh my god. Jim Bob and Michelle digging up shitty textbooks that have been out of print for decades because they're good Christian conservatives. Shopping carts since you couldn't find them. Oh, here they are. Here's them with all their carts at the store. I remember seeing one of them with carts, like, full, though. Loved my classmates today. They were a hoot and a holler. So funny. Who is this? That's not the Duggars, is it? I don't think that's the Duggars. Traumatic, but great teaching. Please do a stream on the correlation between wine moms and MLMs. Oh, my God. GDR351, first stream I saw, and I loved it. Thank you. Love learning with everyone. This was so much fun. Really got me in a better mood during this rough week. I'm very glad I could be a highlight of your week. Curious to see what their taxes look like. Yeah, I wonder that as well. Pug Mama, thank you for the follow. Again, Mandy, thank you for giving out that subscription. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. MLM lesson is where I'm thinking we'll go next week, but we're not 100% sure. We're just going to see where the week takes us and see what happens there. Made an account to finally watch one. So glad I got the TikTok of you promoting it right when it started. The algorithm gods were pretty much on my side today, which I love for me. Sometimes they are and sometimes they aren't. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. But today they were pretty good. Pretty good. She's a Christian woman. There's actually nothing good about a Christian woman. Gonna watch previous streams on YouTube. See you next week. Oh, also, last week's stream, at first I couldn't put it on YouTube because of copyright, but I cropped out the part that was copyrighted. It was only one part. I thought it was lots of parts, so I gave up, but it was only one. So I cropped it out, so now last week's stream is available on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here every single Wednesday at 7:30. If you subscribe, I would appreciate that so much. I don't really give a fuck, so I'm just going to start saying this publicly now. I want to make enough money on the internet that I can go back to teaching. That is like my biggest goal right now. So anyone that subscribes to me, thank you so much. You are like $5-10 is making that dream a reality for me. So thank you all for subscribing. If you can't subscribe, don't feel financial pressure to. I love having you all here without a subscription. I'll never do a sub-only chat. I love seeing chat as busy as it is. If you could give me a follow, share with a friend, post on Instagram, whatever. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I laugh with you. I'll see you next week for MLM or something else if I think of something better. Night. Love you. Be safe. See you next week.